Hello, Year 3, and welcome to your next maths lesson. Today, we're going to be drawing some bar charts. Now, I've put an example on the board just to show you what it should look like, and so I can talk through some of those important features of a bar chart, just for when you come to draw your own. Here, I have some information showing people's favourite meals. So I have the table to start with, and I'll use the information in the table to create the graph. So pasta, 4 people, pizza, 9, fish and chips, 7, roast chicken, 5, chili, 2. And I've used this information to create the bar chart. I will show you the bar chart closer up in a second, but I will just talk through some of those key points of the bar chart. Remembering to start with, it has to have a title, so somebody can look at your title and know what your bar chart is showing. A graph to show favourite foods in a class. That's what my bar chart is showing. I am going to walk around to the other side, and I am going to move you closer so you can see. I'm going to try to keep it as still as possible. I have straight lines, and if you look carefully, I've drawn my 2 axes, my 2 lines, on top of the squares, on top of the lines in the book, not in the spaces, on top of the lines. That's really important. So a line going across and a line going up. And then at the side, I have the numbers, the number of people. And again, this is really important. I've drawn the numbers on top of the line, starting with 0, number 1 on top of the line, number 2 on top of the line. It's not in the spaces, it's on top of the line, all the way up to number 10, because my biggest number is 9. It doesn't have to go any higher than that. And that stands for the number of people. And along the bottom, I've got spaces for the types of food. And again, I put a label for this line and a label, a title for that line. And then I've drawn my bars, and I've tried to make sure each bar is 3 boxes long. Doesn't matter how long they are, but they should all be the same width. So each bar is the same size, just different heights. They're all the same width. So you can look at that information now, and you can see very easily which food was the most popular and which food was the least popular. And hopefully you might be able to create something that looks quite similar to that in your book. I pulled out these pages from one of the maths books so you could see exactly how it should look in your book. Making sure the lines go on top of the lines. You have a title for each axis and a title at the top of the page. You need to have all of these things to make sure your graph, your bar chart is correctly labelled. And again, I'll remind everyone, because this is something that people forget every year, the lines go on top of the lines in the book, and the numbers go on top of the lines in the book, not in the spaces. Do remember that. Going to come around to the other side. So today's activity, just going to move you back ever so slightly. Sorry. Today's activity, you have to complete this worksheet. You're completing the 2 graphs already. This top one is showing people's favourite pets. You have the information at the top, and you need to put that into the graph. One of the bars has been done for you. 5 people like snakes for some reason. So snake has gone up to number 5. In between 4 and 6, remember, in between 4 and 6 would be 5. So we've got the number snake 5 at the top, and we've drawn a bar all the way up to number 5. So you'll have to fill in the bars for the rest of the animals: dog, fish, cat, bird. Remember to use a ruler, and you can colour each bar if you would like, so it looks nice and it's well presented. And then below, we have people's favourite lesson at school: English, maths, PE, French, history. And again, you have to put the numbers up the side, remember, on top of the lines, the different lessons at the bottom, and then do the bars. And so you have to fill in and complete that graph. And if you remember, try to label the axes like we have at the top here. So you have to complete those graphs. And if you can write 2 questions about your graphs at the bottom. And if you finish all of that, because some people might be able to do that a little bit more quickly than others, I've put some information on the board that you might be able to put into your own graph. This is showing how people travel to school. Let me put a nice blue box around it so you can see that information. How people travel to school. So car, bike, bus, walk or minibus. 12 people go by car, 6 go by bike, 2 on the bus, 11 walk and 5 get a minibus to school. So if you can and you have time and you'd like to have a go, could you put this information in your book into a bar chart, just like I have up here? Have a go. So you have 2 bar graphs to complete, 2 bar charts to complete, and then if you have time, you can try to draw your own. Remember, using pencil and using a ruler as neatly as possible. Thank you for watching Year 3. I will be available on Google Meet if you'd like to show me what you've done so far, or if you have any questions after about half an hour of the lesson. So do keep an eye out for that if you have any questions for me. Thank you, Year 3. Oh, before I forget, this activity you will probably have to try to print because we have to do it on top of the sheet. If you really are unable to print it, see if you can just draw the graph into your book and copy it, and then you will be able to attempt to do your own graph in your book as well. Thank you.